Pav, obviously you've been around for a while with this group. To be standing here today on May 2nd, is that tough for you guys to digest in terms of the expectations that you had placed on yourselves at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, for sure. I think, every year it gets a little bit harder when you don't make the playoffs. I think, you appreciate being in the league more and more you're in, and just seeing, your friends playing in the playoffs and something like that on other teams is tough to see. So, as I said, I think every year it's a little bit tougher and tougher, and you just hate losing more and more every season. So that's something that next year, you don't want to be in the same situation. So, yeah, it's hard.
How would you evaluate your own season and what you felt you got out of it?
Yeah, I think there was, some ups and some downs, as probably the whole team, and that's something I try to improve on my game, and by the end I think I did a good steps there, and just something that I have to work on in the summer again, getting better and do those things. So that's the one thing I'm excited for this summer, just to get better and more the things that I can help the team more and be a better player.
Pavel, to piggyback off something Amanda just said, you've been here a while, obviously longer than some of the rookies. What is it that you can do to help them mature, to help this team mature, to take that next step?
I think, seeing a lot of guys, as I said, we have some guys who've been around the team for a while too, and just seeing, how disappointed they are with this season, and I think for them to learn it in such a young age too, to see, the disappointment and just to not want to be in the situation we're in. I've been here 6 years and we only made the playoff once, so that's something that, hopefully they don't have to go through, and they have to learn that, to hate to lose, and I'm just going to try to do my best, on the ice and try to help the team like that.
You've been through that playoff experience once. What do you guys as a team need to do to get back to that step?
Yeah, I think it's, it goes from everywhere. I think, from coaching staff, players, everybody, that, everyone has to take the step forward and be, be better for the next season. I think, it's a long summer to have to get ready to be better as a team, as everybody. So I think, we did some good steps as a team too there. I think, we had some good games that we saw we can play against anybody, but we just have to be more consistent with that too, which I don't think, we couldn't pull off a couple of wins in a row, and that's something we have to be better at next year.
You've seen the coaching staff try to help and develop young guys and the veterans to get them to where they want to be, where they feel they need to be. What has the message been from the coaching staff that you feel going into this summer could help this team turn that corner?
Yeah, I think, as I said, the message was basically, that the season wasn't the way we wanted to be, and everyone just have to work on certain ways to help the team individually, and then be better, be more committed as a team to certain things. And I think, I didn't have the meeting yet, but I think, that's going to be something that we're going to talk about with the coaching staff and everyone else, what's going to happen. But I think, the commitment level wasn't there yet this season to the system, to each other, as much as we would need to be on a playoff team. So I think that's something that, mentally everyone has to get their head at for the next season.
Thanks, Pete. We're done in here.
Thank you, Amanda. Our next question will go to Tom Canavan, Associated Press.
Hey, Pavel, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You've been here for a while and you've broached on this, but this team has made the playoff once in 10 years, not in the last 4. Is there a sense that there's any light at the end of the tunnel? I mean, there's probably fans sitting there going, I'd like to see this team in the playoffs again.
Yeah, I think we all want to be in a playoffs. I think it's a process. I think we have a young team too, and there's a lot of guys who took big steps this season. And I just think we have to build on that and be in a way better situation next year.
But there were so many times this year where you had leads and you gave them up. I mean, those are things that teams that make the playoffs don't do. I mean, how do you start doing it?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think when you see the top teams in the league, they either come back in the third periods or don't get themselves when they're in the lead. They just don't do little mistakes to put the other team in a game, and we weren't able to do that much this year. And I think that's again what you have to focus on in the off season, and then come back next year and be way better at that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Next question, go to Neil McHale, Inside Hockey.
Good morning, Pavel. You mentioned, the want and desire and, everybody pulling in to try and make this, team better. But, maybe something that happens is there's a little bit more competition at the forward position. You're a player who's, tried to get into that top six. Sometimes you played, more in, the middle six. But what do you need to work on this summer to be a top six forward on a consistent basis on this team?
I think offensively, I think I have to be a little bit harder on pucks and creating more battles and chances for my teammates. I think I took some strides to get better at that. From last year to this year, and that's something that I have to work on to get better to help the team win.
And I'm sure that maybe you've heard that there were certain noises around deadline, and your name got brought up at time to time. What was your way that you kind of blocked some of that out, or how did you approach all of that noise?
I just heard a little bit, something that was going around, but no one said anything to me, so I wasn't really looking too much into it. I think that's something that there's a lot of names being brought up every year, and most of the guys are never leaving. So it's something that as a player you have to just block the noise there and just focus on your season.